BT Gardner, and I'm here to do a video about how to buy property cheap. Now this is the same method I spoke about in the video that I posted previously that said $500 future food forest property. And here's the deed to my property, and here's how you can do it. Okay, turn the camera around. So first you have to figure out where you want the property to be. I live in a county where there's a college, and property around here is at a premium because the college students will rent anything. So it's very hard to find property or land for cheap. But if you go to any county outside of my county, any of the bordering counties, you can find pretty cheap land. So that's what I did. I went to the county that was closest to me and in an area where I wanted to be. And what you have to do is go to the county courthouse, to the treasurer. And what you're going to do is, number one, ask them for a list of properties that the city owns for back taxes. Okay? So what they're going to do is print you out a list of all of those properties. And it's probably going to be pretty thick. And here's the thing. Counties do not want to have properties on their books that are not having taxes paid on them. So it's in their best interest to make that happen. That's why they will so willingly give you a list for this. So after you get this list, you're going to want to figure out where those properties are, go out, check it out, see if it meets your needs. And very important, if there happens to be an HOA or anything like that, make sure and find out what their rules are and if what you're planning to do fits in those guidelines. Okay, so after you figure out the one you want to go back to the courthouse and tell them, okay, I found the property I want to bid on. Now, I forgot to mention in the first part, they also give you a list of things that you need to do in order to obtain this property. One of them is to speak with zoning and planning. Now, that's going to be in the same building as the treasurer. So you can kill two birds with one stone and do that both at the same time if you already know where the property is. In my case, it was a long process trying to figure out how to do this. So I did both at the same time. But this should be short and easy for you. All you have to do is what I'm telling you. Go in, get the list, figure out where the property is, come back, talk to zoning and planning, tell them what you want to do with the property. If they say it's okay, then you go right back upstairs to the treasurer, let them know you've spoken with zoning and planning. They said it's okay for you to do what you are intending to do with the property. And they'll tell you they need you to pay $100 so that they can list your property in the newspaper for 3 weeks. And what that's going to do is open that property back up for bid for sale to anybody. So it is possible to be outbid in this process. But the counties are usually pretty forthright with it. On this particular property, I actually did not bid until the day before the bid was due. And I called the treasurer and I asked about it, and they actually told me no one else has bid on the property. So that made me feel pretty good about thinking I could pay the most minimal price and still get it. So I went there that day and I paid $25 above the minimal price, which was $300. And After that, they listed in the newspaper. After that, they have 3 weeks to open the bid. And they called me, told me I won the bid. Property's mine. Deed in hand. You can do this too. It's really simple. And this is a way for people who are poor or don't really, you don't even have to be poor. You just don't have a lot of expendable cash. I saw another video that I watched on how to buy property cheap, and it said for poor people and no money down. And then they immediately went on to say, now you're going to have to use your tax return. Well, if you're really poor, you might not be getting a tax return. But if you can scratch up about $500, you can do what I'm talking about. You can have a piece of property, and if you're resourceful, you can make some money growing stuff on that property and sell it and maybe buy more. Back to Eden Gardener. I'm going to do a follow-up video on this where I actually go in and show you the list that the treasurer gives you, speak to zoning and planning if they'll let me record them, and yeah. And if you have any questions on this, you can actually email me at btegardner@gmail.com. Thanks. And please like and subscribe, and please share this video with